a personal relationship. I've noticed that a lot of us are enjoying the loud noises, the prophetic. I have nothing against that. But, and then when we get home, we don't have time to read the word of
for
God.
ourselves.
For ourselves.
Oh, that's a beautiful song, yeah. Didn't like my sister.
Does she know this?
She's gonna know. She's gonna know. And we're gonna talk about it and have therapy.
Sing a song you remember from Bundu Boys.
Simbi no. Simbi no. Like I'm trying to mind. I could do
It doesn't work.
Waiting for the clap.
We're waiting for the clap. You did say there's going to be a clap.
There we go.
Like, hello, my name is Marbel Jeanry, and this is a Heartbeat, a show where we talk all things matters of the heart. Yes, the things that made us, the things that broke us, the things that where we're going, what our dreams are. Like the Bible says, guard your heart, for in it, you know the Bible. Or from it. Is it in it or from it?
Yeah,
from it comes the issues
of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pastor Mel, thank you for joining. I know you don't like that title.
No.
Emelda, thank you so much for joining us here on Heartbeat. It's going to be swell because we've got too many things to talk about. And we could go for 3 days nonstop. They don't know it. But anyway, thank you for coming. Hey.
Thank you.
So I've just been feeling inside me that we should talk about where we've come from. I have this nostalgic feeling of, you know,
it's a long way
before we got all this, you know what I mean? Where we came from. I remember when growing up with Dad.
Yeah.
And how he would play the guitar.
Yeah.
At the table. I don't think we actually had a moment where would have the no talking on the table or no singing while you're chewing. We never had that.
Yeah.
He was always like, yes, I think I've come up with something, and get my guitar.
Yeah.
And he's playing and we're singing. And it's crazy. I don't think we ever had a moment like that. What was that for you, like growing up musically, and what cultivated the singer or the artist or the creative in you?
I think for us, because neither of my parents were musical in that sense, like your dad.
And
that
mom.
And mom. All I remember is my grandmother was a choir master.
What?
Yeah.
Your grandma?
Oh, yeah. So everyone would be like, oh, yeah, it's because of her grandmother.
Wow. So she'd be like,
yeah, apparently. So for me, I think the music came from, I remember a lot of our road trips because we had so many road trips.
That's so cool though.
And we would listen to my parents' music.
Wow.
That's all we could do.
What do they like listening to? Oh, who? Dolly Parton? Please don't say Dolly Parton.
My dad loved country.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we did like listen to a lot of like your Don Williams.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Kenny G. He loved like just reggae. He listened to like a lot of diverse music.
At this point, how old were you?
Oh my goodness. I was so young.
Like 9, what?
Because I remember we moved to Mutare. So I remember that road trip in particular because we were driving and we were moving to Mutare. Yeah, I think I was about 5.
What? You remember stuff from when you were 5?
Don't you?
I think I
remember
have
from
one
like when
clip.
I was 4.
I literally have one clip in my head.
What happened when you were 5?
Dancing. My dad was playing guitar. My mom was singing. And I was doing, you know, that special dance we used to do, that ballet.
At 5?
Like, I think I was younger, 3. But it's the one clip I have in my head.
That's the only memory.
I got a terrible memory. But yes, that's all I remember. So, like, wow.
I guess maybe because it was like something like big that was happening. So maybe that's why I could remember that it was then. But yeah, we did listen to a lot. We listened to even local stuff. Bundu Boys, he would play.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so
He
cool.
played so much music, and we had a lot of, like they call them records. I don't know
really?
what's the actual gramophone. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
We
that.
had those, but they were all Christian. Like my dad would be like, music, my dins. So there's no, at any point did we ever listen to music that was not Christian.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so for us, like we had a lot of those, the records and
Bundu Boys. Sing a song you remember from Bundu Boys.
Simbi no.
Oh.
Simbi no. Yeah, that's Bundu Boys.
Okay.
One of them. Yeah, like I'm forgetting some of the artists like off the top of my head, but we did listen to so many, and then obviously like radio, because we loved listening to the radio a lot.
But that was
We
like
followed the what was that called, the hit list,
Oh, really? The
chart show.
The chart shows?
What was it
Oh,
called?
Was it Paul FM?
Hitsville.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Girl, you're exposing our ages. Girl. Hitsville, what was that?
That's what I remember. Yeah. So I listened to a lot of that. And we would like, when it's time for Hitsville, we'd take out our books and start writing down lyrics.
Goodness.
So that you would know. Because we had nowhere else that we would.
Did you keep any
hear
of those?
No, I don't have any of them.
Oh my God, girl.
I wish I did though.
Because it'd be great to just look back and say, oh my God, that was so cool.
So
Wow.
that's really how the music really just kind of became a part of us. Yeah, so there was always music wherever we were, in the house, in the car,
Wow.
and then
And
church.
your grandma chorista.
I didn't know until much later, but yeah.
Really? Okay, that's exciting. Oh
Yeah.
my God. And then that was 5. Imagine if you were 5. Okay, at least now I know what I was doing when I was 5. I mean, the only clip I have when I was 5. You have a whole, like, a lot of road trips that you had. And then moving from that age, let's talk about between 5 and 9 musically, or 5 and 10, okay. Musically, what was happening?
I guess it was the same. But
In church?
yeah, so what happened was
What happened was...
what happened was we then started going to church. Yeah, we found a church, and when we went there, that's when we started just having that like opportunity for you to actually sing in church. I was very shy, very timid.
Oh, my girl, she was shy at some point.
I still am.
Wow.
And then
Posh.
and then you know how in church they did that thing yokuthi munonyoresa mazita.
Yes, kuma item.
And they say, yeah, if you have anything that you want to do,
Oh my
you know.
goodness.
So one day I'm just sitting pretty right at the back, just waiting for church to be over. And then I just hear, there was Zamiri sisters want to do something for us. And I'm like, oh, who are they?
Sounds familiar. What's that?
Is my sister trying to sing with somebody else? And I see her signaling at me.
Come over here.
Because we used to sing a lot at home.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
If we're cleaning, if we're cooking, if
Oh
we're
my
just
goodness.
playing.
Yeah, that was us as well. I think that was the most time we were ever bonded, was cleaning, washing the dishes after a meal, making the meal. And Jackie would always be like, you're singing out of the wrong way. And oh my God. Or she has a new song and she's like, sing it like this. This is how the melody goes. No, you're doing it wrong. You know, but it was such fun moments, because that's when we'd learn all these things.
Yeah.
And so there goes.
So I mean, for us, like for me rather, I would sing with her just because we're
In the
singing.
kitchen.
Like it's normal, it's natural, because we're surrounded by music, we love music, and we're just singing. And she decides to call me up on the stage.
Come over.
I wished I would have just ran away that Sunday.
Do you remember the song you sang?
I don't remember the song.
I remember a similar incident. Well, I already knew we were going up, but then Jackie was so specific. You shouldn't make mistakes. We should always sing in key, blah, 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 blah. So we get on stage, and I think we had a glitch. I think one of us, I think it was me or her voice cracked. Did we not cry after that performance?
Like when you got off the stage?
When we got off stage, we were outside. Like, it didn't go so well.
Wow, lucky y'all. It didn't for me. I would stand there, knees shaking, voice shaking.
Everything shaky.
I just couldn't wait
Shame.
for it to be over.
And those minutes are like hours. Like,
It
when is it
just,
gonna
yeah,
end?
it was terrible. It was
Oh my
terrible. Like
goodness.
for that, I really didn't like my sister.
Does she
Yeah.
know this?
She's
gonna
gonna
be
know.
watching.
She's gonna know.
You have to give her a
And we're
heads
gonna
up,
talk
Shay.
about it and have therapy. Like,
Right?
yeah.
Oh
Oh
my
man.
goodness, that's crazy. So when did you then ease into it?
Oh my gosh, years later.
Like years later. Like
Yeah,
my
way
years
later.
later cannot do.
Way after that. Yeah.
Not even vessels of honor.
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness, girl. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was years later.
Alrighty. Before we get to the years you eventually got yourself together,
Yeah.
I remember doing the choir. So the thing is, we're the youngest.
How
member.
did you start? You didn't
I
tell
didn't-
me
I
like
thought I was throwing it
the
in there.
journey into it. Like, how did you guys get into the music?
I guess it's my ITMEYO, like writing in Madondo Sisters. We go up there and we sing Jackie's songs or songs we'd hear on radio. Like, okay, no, we had this somebody Green. I don't remember. I tried looking for this guy because I also don't want to expose my age, but it was some guy. His name was something Green. And he's
Travis Green.
Maybe he's yes, he's his
I'm joking.
ancestor.
Yeah.
Travis's ancestor, right? And I think they had this guy kept singing new English songs, but then the church were in English, and yeah, they didn't really appreciate it, but would still, soldier on. And then I remember singing. I don't remember the song. What was it? No. I can't remember it. But this guy would always listen to him because there was always a Sunday show on radio. So on that show, they'll play, I think, 1 or 2 international songs. So we'd always be there on a Sunday night listening to the radio so that we sing the song we heard this Sunday, next week Sunday at church, right?
Wow.
So this is how we ended up singing constantly. And then we got into the choir. Now, this is the drama part.
Tell me.
So we're in the choir, and then we decided not to go for rehearsal. So they were practicing this song called Kudenga, Kudenga, Ku Na Baba, right? Girl,
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, it was hard. And then we didn't go for rehearsal. And on Sunday, the choir was called up, and then we go up with confidence with them. We go up, and then the bass just goes, Kudenga. And I'm standing there. It was short. I was short. I think I was.
So you were right in the front.
I was right in the front, and I'm just like, where, what's happening? What song is this? And everybody's going, Kudenga, Kuna Baba, Kuna. And they're just singing. And I think I spent that. It was like a 3-minute song. I was just there, and I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, lessons learned. Do not skip rehearsal.
So why did you? How?
Because type boy can't never do. You get there and it's still just like, this is boring. I have to keep remembering this. And you know what I mean? It was so hard. So we wanted to go to rehearsal when they were doing the words. But then we didn't go. The rehearsal we didn't go to was the words. And then,
dear. Oh my God.
So Mama Tango, I'll never forget his face. He could have told us, girls, the song coming
Don't
up.
come.
Don't come up like abort mission. So we're up there, and I'm just like, I'm trying to catch Jackie's eye, I'm trying to, sing down. Like
And it's not one of those things where you can actually like pretend, like and try and mime.
No.
It
doesn't work. Oh my God.
Oh, goodness.
And then because of that, we then decided, let's start a church band.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have to do the doors anymore.
Yeah.
Let's do a church band where we then then we can do all these fancy songs. Even in the winter time when the weather is harder to start. He's still the same. Those days we really used to sound Pentecostal.
Yes, you were in it.
Messiah.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know how it starts. But we then got a band. We got Jackie, Charlotte, myself. Oh no, Charlotte hadn't come yet. Jackie, myself, and Tajna Inzani on the keyboard. I'm Koma something. Baba, it's a Roland 12, Baba. And you go, oh yes. And we'll be like, there, and I was so invested. Oh God, it was so sad. And then we got to a phase where I think I was 9, and then we sang. Then I don't know who taught us this song. If anyone out there knows this song, they should actually inbox me. Danda kangenda karasikandi
Wow, that's a beautiful song, yeah.
irakwazo asimi manditora ishegaraineni. And then those moments, I think that's when we then began to understand what it was we got ourselves into, or rather our parents had got us into. And everybody was lying on the ground. It was like, oh my God, it was always amazing singing and, ministering, and you see the presence of God in the place. You understand? So I think at 9, that's when we then said, I think we need to get ourselves together and start thinking what we're going to do. And then Jackie started Vessels of Honor. Then, of course, Jackie's in Vessels of Honor, so I'm also there. Yeah. And then we wanted it to be a girl group. I'm always going to say this. I know Kutsi is not going to be happy, but...
I'm sure he felt it, though, like at some point.
Like, oh, we have rehearsal? I'm like, yeah, we have rehearsal. And it's like, yeah, I'm dead. I'm like, oh, gosh. I remember having conversations. Sorry, I couldn't say that. And I'm throwing a lot of people under the bus here. But would say, but why is Kutsi coming? Can't you tell that there are more girls than, the boys? You know what I mean? But no, we bless his heart. He did contribute. He had a great contribution.
He did.
He put into the group, which was great. But then also the church didn't quite understand what we were trying to do. And you know how change is like a big deal.
It's difficult.
Oh yeah, and then you guys came from Mutare, right? We're also not saying years so that people don't calculate further,
right?
But you guys came, and I hadn't met you. At which point did I meet you, though?
I don't know. You just came to my house.
Yeah. Okay, but we had already started. Charlotte
had already joined, because when we moved from Mutare, I think because of like the whole experience I had, I did not want to join the choir. I did not want to join.
Bad, girl.
No, like, I mean, I had it really bad. Like stage fright for me, sure. It's a thing that I've had to deal with. So I did not want to join the choir.
How did you deal with your stage? Just so that we get this clear. What did you do? You go, what do you do? You shake it off. Girl, you got this. You look in the mirror and you're like, girl, you got this. What do you do?
That doesn't work.
It doesn't work? So you just let it go and go on stage. Okay, fine.
I don't know. Like, I think the more that I would get on the stage is the more I would then just pray and say, God, I need you to help me. And then I'd slowly then just find a way to like manage it. And so now it's at a point where I'm not scared at that level. You could see like my whole body would shake.
Yeah. The whole body would go and just small. And
it was so
Call
bad.
The paramedics.
It was so bad.
Shame.
Yeah. And I remembered like the one time I even went to a pastor. Our pastor, I remember. Pastor Nat, and I asked him, I'm really struggling here. Shame. He's like, oh, you just get over it. I'm like, what?
You just woke up there and you're like, I'm over it.
That's not what I was expecting. I was expecting, oh dear Father, I pray for this girl.
And then you're on the ground shaking.
I thought, but no. But then I did just pray about it. And each time I would always just pray, just don't worry, I really need your help to get through this. And then slowly, like, yeah.
You got over it.
I did. Okay, yeah. So we came to Harare. Charlotte joined the choir, and then she was part of you guys. And she told me about it. And I was like, oh, okay, nice. Right? Fun. Yeah, right? And then I met you. I was like, oh.
I remember the day we met. It was in the evening. We were going for some party. Whose party was it?
Well, you guys had come because you were going to a Maisuluma gig.
Oh gosh, I don't know. There's so
I think that was the very first time.
That was the very first time. Okay, you remember.
Yeah.
You tell it.
I remember it because I thought, oh, this girl's kind of almost my age and she's doing this. I'm like, what? These guys must be having a lot of fun.
Was I cool?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. But yeah. And then, that's when you guys started doing your thing with the Joy Street Choir and the Vessels of Honor.
Oh my goodness. So there was Vessels of Honor and then there was My Suluma, oh my goodness. I was watching the clip.
I think we're going somewhere.
I hate you right now. I think we're going so. I'm like, what's that voice? I mean, who's
Yeah,
that?
what was going on? You were trying to be all
I
gangster,
do
like
not know that girl.
you don't remember
I
any of
don't
it.
remember her, like the essence of her. Oh my goodness. I was watching it. I watched it over and over and over again.
How old were you? Okay, we're not allowed to say age.
I was young enough to go somewhere.
I think we're
And I
going
remember I was in high
somewhere.
school at that time. And I remember in high school, I used to sing bass, especially on the national anthem. I think at every school I ever went, I was either doing the bass national anthem or I was leading it.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness, I can't get over it. And now I have to talk like this because I don't want to have a history of bass. Okay,
No, but it's not a bad thing though.
Oh, but that girl, but I don't remember that girl. I don't know what she was thinking, what was happening. I know she was innocent. I know that. But I look at her and I think, oh my goodness, she had no clue what
was going to happen in the future.
Then I look back, I'm like, girl, if you knew what I'd tell myself at that age.
Yeah.
Girl, get yourself together. But it was just my Saloma. It was so great going there. I think we'd go there every weekend. I don't remember.
Really? Yeah.
We'd go there every weekend and we would sing. I think we'd go there so early and then leave late. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I remember Baba Suloma bought a drum kit. Which was just there. And then he did not want, it wasn't tuned or whatever. So every time I'll get there, we'd get there early. And then I'd say, may I please have the sticks? He gives me the sticks. And then I just start, making noise until I got a karidi more. I think that's how I started. That's how I became more of a percussionist, to say.
Okay.
But I love percussion.
Yeah.
Every percussive sound for me is great. The shakers, the whatever. See, I could get away with it. And at some point in the future, I'd play drums in churches. Like if the drummer doesn't come to church, then I'd kick off my heels and I go there and I'm like, but I don't know why I never pursued it, like took it seriously. I wasn't serious about it. I didn't love it enough.
And now?
Now I do the congas more than the drum.
So you don't feel like you want to?
No, I'm too old.
Are you ever too old though? I feel like, yeah.
No, I love my nails too much and I love.
Oh, it's about the
The
nails.
heels. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know what it. Wow, thanks. I feel bad. But I did say congas. It still counts, right?
Your nails?
They're not disturbed as much. They won't break as much. But anyway, with the My Suluman, that was like really cool because we got experience in video shoots, stage work, all that stuff, and it was so cool because we were learning. It was so exciting. Somewhere in that as well, we had Nguva ya Kwana. I don't even know how we juggle this. There's like one Saturday a week. And I don't know what we're doing with our Saturdays. What we were doing with our Saturdays. And, so we had Nguva ya Kwana, would do those rehearsals. Now, that one was more tough. I think my singing was tough. But Nguva ya Kwana was tough because that was militant. Because if you didn't sing the notes right, tomorrow morning there'll be somebody else ready.
What?
In your part, girl.
It was that.
Yeah, but then they couldn't really get rid of us because we were Vanava.
Yes, there was no way.
No way they were getting rid of us.
Wow.
But I learned so much. I mean, would travel again, would do stages, would do, big stages, HICC, would travel. So it was HICC's Harare, then Bulawayo, then Motare at some point, and it was just crazy. But then at this point, you had joined, right?
Had I?
I don't know, but I remember.
Did Charlotte do any Nguva ya Kwana?
We did Vessels of Honor under Nguva ya Kwana at some point. We performed.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I do remember doing it. I'm just not sure at what point. Yeah.
But I was going to also remind you of the day I will never forget when I met you. Look at you. The day I knew this girl is going to be my friend forever. This one is my BFF. When we said, would look at the party, I referred to it before.
Yes, the party.
The party, and then what can we wear? And you're like, I have this skirt. I don't know whose skirt was it. It was yours.
I don't know. And I gave it to you.
No. And then I said, we said it together, at the same time. And we said, let's cut it. And then I'm like, she's my girl like that, She comes, we think alike. Oh my God, this is so exciting. I think, I remember. I remember because I know were we young generation? I don't know at which point.
Remember.
But oh my
was
goodness,
so
I will
long
never
ago.
forget that. And that's when this whole journey then started.
Yeah.
We did what? Go the Vessels of Honor.
We did Vessels of Honor. We did My Suluma.
She's gonna kill us for this one. But remember when we went to a show and we were wearing pants? And then she says, what did she say? She's gonna kill us. We love you, sis, and stuff. But
oh my God. Okay, so we had just done her we had just done Vessels of Honor.
Yes.
Performance.
Yes, and we're in pants.
And then we were about to go back. And we did not carry a change of clothes because we're like, no, everyone's wearing all black. So let's do it. But we were in like pants and tops, like Tatirivana.
I know,
you know.
Right?
And then we walk in after changing, and then she goes, like we could just see, our attire. Yeah, so she just took us to the side and she said, ladies, because of the attire, you will not be ministering with us. But I respect her for that. You know what I mean? Because like she's protecting her brand. And it's also what was going on during and in the industry during that time. Like I respect her for just saying that out loud to us. Because had we gone Pangwe, something else would have happened, you know. True. I mean, it sucked, but I mean, we were okay with it. I don't think we were offended.
No, we weren't.
No.
I mean, we just laughed.
We were just like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But where were we? Were we in Harare or not?
We were in Mutare.
Ish, we traveled a lot, hey?
We did.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And at which point did we do call to worship? Is that further?
That's way.
Oh my God. So what happened in between? Between My Suluma, Joy Street Choir, Ngoya Kwana. Oh my God. Oh, Vessels of Honor.
Yeah. I think we then took a break, you know, like after Jackie passed away. Vessels of Honor, I think, we just kind of...
We couldn't. We couldn't go forward with singing. I remember we would try and sing that.
It cry. Just would not happen.
We would just cry like,
it just wouldn't happen.
This doesn't work.
Yeah. So that was the end of that, sadly. Then I think we continued with My Suluma for a bit. I remember doing the My Tito Enyu. Where were you?
No, I don't know where I was. My Tito Enyu.
Where were you?
I don't remember. To be honest, I don't know. But we just done Pastor G. No, God, this girl. No, we had Mega Praise in between. We had Pastor G somewhere there. Then we had My Tito Enyu. Because I remember, I think it was in the same time frame when we had Pastor G's, I don't know which album that was, but we did it. HIC. I remember because I was wearing a pink skirt.
Was I there?
I don't remember. I think you knew about it, but you weren't there in the choir, in the group.
I don't think so, yeah.
But Mega Praise. We did Mega Praise together.
Much later, though.
It was much later?
Girl, your timelines.
Yeah, because I'm trying to protect our ages, okay?
Yeah. But then I do remember finishing off with My Suluma's gig, and then I was part of Pastor G. Then I did a lot of traveling with Pastor G. Then he introduced me to Pastor Prince Mafukidze.
Oh my goodness.
Then I remember my friend, no, it's actually Bolo. You remember Brian?
Yeah.
Took me to an audition. He's like, no, Pastor Prince, you know, he's looking for someone who can sing. So I recommended you. So, you know, just come and sing. And then I just went and I auditioned. And he's like, okay, come for rehearsal. So I started with Pastor Prince. And then we did a couple of shows with him. Yeah, like there was quite a lot of music going on during that time. And then I also just started doing a lot of studio work with Vanatinashe and Jairus.
Is that the time you then did Final Say?
I did other music
before. Girl, you're holding out on me for 20 years. What other music did you do that I don't know about?
We didn't release it. Like as I said, you know, for me, my process, like in music and just the industry in general, was I had to learn and I had to start like right from the bottom. I had to start from the back, right? So me starting from the bottom and the back meant that I had to be like a background singer. I had to learn in the studio. I remember being in the studio, Najaki. That was my first time when we were doing Achatzoka.
Yes.
That was my very first time in the studio.
Really?
Yeah.
What was this place? It was in Highlands. I remember the studio was in Highlands, and Matthew was the producer. Oh my goodness.
So that was my first time. So then I realized like I have a lot to learn. So I wasn't just gonna.
But how?
And I still needed to know the kind of artist that I needed to be, if at all I wanted to be, because like I had issues.
Clearly. But I'm just thinking, you've always been the overthinker, or more of an overthinker than I am.
Yeah, you just dive right in.
But then how at that age are you thinking, I have so much to learn, and I have, oh my goodness, that takes some maturity.
I don't know. I really don't know. But that's what I told myself. I said, you know what? I'm not, God is not putting me in these circles for no reason. I have to be a sponge and learn as much as I can.
Amen. She's always been the more intelligent one. Oh gosh.
So because I didn't take it for granted. Like I just started off singing with you guys that are by Suluba already. I'm on the big stage. Like what? You know? So for me, I'm like, I have to learn. I have to use this opportunity and just learn as much as I can.
Around that time, we also did with Anavoyo Mokwena. And those people did not play on stage.
Oh, yeah.
They
were
stage work,
serious.
songwriting, background voices. Oh, my goodness. I remember Butle said to me at some point, after we sang a song, I felt so proud because she's like, oh my God, you are such a powerful alto. I'm like, girl, say that again. Please say that again, girl. Yeah. You know, and she's like, you're such a powerful. She's like, who sang that? I'm like, it's me.
Wow.
And then she's like, you're such a powerful alto. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a beautiful thing. I think the process, and I think that's for anyone who's watching or listening, that you have to go through the process. You know, you just don't dive right in. It's important for you to get as much knowledge and training. Don't despise just starting from the bottom, because there's a lot that you'll learn. Like for us watching my Suluma and her husband, we learned so much, right? About songwriting, about managing a group, about taking care of people, about managing yourself. You know, and it's stuff that just does not come from reading a book. A lot of it comes just from being under someone,
experiencing such
exactly. So,
but when is it? I feel there's a fine line between I'm still learning and I'm still getting to, and then at which point do you emerge or come out? Because sometimes you're just saying, I think I need to learn a little bit more, and then before you know it, you're a PhD. After PhD, then what? You know what I mean? Then you're like, okay. What, you know what I mean? So at which point is this when you then hear from God, I guess, as you pray, looking or finding purpose from God, and then it's like, I release you, my daughter.
I think and this is for everyone, like no matter at what stage you are, you should always desire to keep growing and learning. So the learning will not stop, and it should not stop.
No, it shouldn't.
Regardless of what level you are. But at some point, if you know for sure that this is what God has called you for, you just have to go out there and do it. And I feel like God equips you to a level where you can actually begin.
Okay.
And then from there, you keep growing and learning as you go along.
Do you think we actually listen to God? I feel like our process is actually longer half the time, because I know we're going through life and there's a lot of life happening. And then we end up not hearing or seeing the cues. Sometimes it's like turn left and you're like, oh, I already paused. Then it's like, okay, like the navigation, it says turn left in 600 meters, turn left. And then you miss that turn. And then God gives you another. But I feel like we do not say, because I don't remember at any point in that whole time I think I was just going by the grace of God. I don't. At some point, of course, I then did say, "God, show me what my purpose is." But I remember I was just floating. I was floating, and it's only at a later stage when I said, "Father, you have to be very specific. Give me the specific details." But I think it should start at an early age.
It should.
And I think the people around us as well should identify, oh, she loves singing, or she loves doing this, or she loves doing that. You know what I mean? And help nurture
it. Yeah. Because sometimes you see a gift and then you're quick to throw someone in and then, it's not yet time. So I think when it comes to these things, we just need to be careful and just also prayerful.
Yeah.
But it's important to do as well. So I was reading the Bible.
Yes, amen.
Yesterday. Somehow, I just
and
landed.
You said you'd never be one of those pastors. There you go. There you go, girl.
Just gonna go. Wait, okay.
Okay,
I put it in my notes.
Let me pull mine in.
Let me just get it here. Okay. So this is like, I think in response to what you were saying, that do you think we listen to God enough? Do we?
No,
do we hear him,
To be honest.
So this is in 1 Kings chapter 19 from verse 11.
1 Kings, found it, chapter 19, verse 11.
Yeah.
What's the story about? Background story.
Background.
Okay, I'm there.
All right. It's about Elijah.
Yes, my favorite prophet.
Okay, so I don't know, for some reason I went to this verse yesterday, but I guess this should help something. So I'm reading from the Amplified, and it says, "And he said, go out and stand on the mount before the Lord, and behold, the Lord passed by. And a great and strong wind rent the mountains and broke in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind.
Oh my goodness.
And after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a sound of gentle stillness and a still small voice. When Elijah heard the voice, he wrapped his face in the mantle and went out and stood in the entrance of the cave." So I won't really go further, but
one of my favorite verses. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of noise around us that you can actually fail to hear God, or you mistake that to be God.
The earthquake to be God.
The fire, the wind,
the mighty wind.
I think a lot of us are getting lost in
the fire, the what?
Yeah. And yet God is in the stillness. So I feel we should take time out to always seek to hear that still voice. When you do, you get clarity and you know your purpose. You find your purpose from taking time out to listen out for that still voice.
Wow, that actually we need to really, really push on having a personal relationship with God.
Yeah.
Even from a young age. I know we'd go to church and people are like, yeah, pray. But I remember it's also young generation, Tishingo Peds, praise and worship would be outside. That age, we were outside. But I think we need Jesus in those ages, you know, so that I think it will take less time. You know how people say, no, you know what I mean? I think it's because we've never really given it a shot, number one, at an early age, you know, to be sold out for God at an early age and not later. I remember at some point, Pastor Nat had to teach us how to pray. And we started going to those all night
prayers.
And I remember he said, from the back, and we were sitting at the back. He's like, come and do some memory verses.
And he said, don't say Genesis 1 verse 1 or John 1 3 verse 16.
Jesus wept.
Yes.
Don't say.
He says, I don't want any of those.
And I remember going up there and thinking,
which verse am I going to say?
And everything just like went, even the simplest, even what. And I remember some guy, he was trying to do Genesis 1, and then I think he said John 1 verse 1, and then he said in the beginning.
I remember. Oh my gosh.
But that gave me the shock of my life. I was like, it's time I get myself wanting God, having a personal relationship.
personal
I've noticed that a
relationship.
lot of us are enjoying the loud noises, the prophetic. I have nothing against that. But and then when we get home, we don't have time to read the word of
For
God
ourselves.
and have a
Yeah.
personal relationship with God where it's just about you and God.
Yeah.
And then the things and the directions, and when he says seek ye first the kingdom and its righteousness, what all that means. And I think people feel like seek first, it's gonna
But
take
it's
so
gonna
long.
take long,
Right.
yeah.
And I don't know where we got this, it's gonna take long. Because we've never really given it a chance. Do you understand what I mean?
And I think the other thing is like it's important to read the Bible.
Yes.
You know, and if we look at it as a love letter, right?
Wow. And not God will judge you if
and just consider this, like, if your person is trying to speak to you and reach out to you,
and you're not there,
and you're
or
not
on
there,
your
you're
phone,
unavailable,
you're
you know,
scrolling,
and
whatever.
they're just trying to speak to you, and you're saying God is not speaking, but you know you're not even going to His Word to find out what His Word is saying to you regarding a situation or whatever it is. You know, we need to go back.
We need to go
to
back
the basics,
to the first love.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so powerful, because at some point I was thinking, I need to get back to the place where I prayed and felt the presence of God by myself without having the loud music and the whatever.
Take me back.
I was waiting for that. You're crazy. Oh Lord,
Yes.
to the what? To the age of innocence where I first met you. What song was that? And I like music like that. I really like music from back then. It was really, I don't know, it was, I don't know, pure. I don't know about purity, but for me, it felt so pure. Even those, write the vision, make it plain.
Oh, yeah.
They may run and not what faint. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think we just have to go back to that, spending more time in the Word, hearing God for ourselves, like you're saying, cultivate that relationship. Because if you're going to wait for the next person, what is it going to benefit you? Because God is going to look at you as an individual and not the next person. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, so stay tuned for the part 2, if there will ever be a part 2.
Oh, there better be.
Oh, there should be.
There better be.
So thank you for being part of this long journey. We didn't even do half of it.
No, we haven't even talked about growing up.
Oh my God. Should we talk about growing up? Tell us, what do you want to share about growing up? But I do remember the last one. I don't know if it's the last one, but I remember we went to a club. Was it even a club, or it was a, what was it? It was some group was coming from, what was it? Some groups was coming from South Africa. And then a friend of ours just said, let's go and see them. And I think it was a rowdy crowd and people were drinking. It was a club. It was set up.
Yeah, it was the first time ever getting in there.
I remember we were standing in the corner praying for our lives.
Like, can we go home, please?
I'll never forget that one.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Okay, so you're releasing a song. Talk to us about that. And it's about time the song came out. You know, I love you. The song must now come out.
I know.
Talk to us about it.
Yeah. Well, the song is ready. Just finalizing on the video.
Looking at the furthest date.
Reaching out into the future.
What's the title of the song?
Rumbidzo. Yeah.
Who did you work with on this project? Here we go.
I worked with production. I worked with Manuchi. And we had a few live instrumentation from some guys in South Africa. It was mixed by COG.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I had a couple of, okay singers, I guess.
Oh, okay,
background singers like Marbel. And
I do not know what you're talking about.
No, I really did work with some really amazing people.
Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool.
So I'm really looking forward to it. It's been, I don't know how long since the last release, but yeah, it's time.
It is time.
Ooh.
It's time, Father.
Yes.
I come before your throne for this to happen.
Yep.
In the mighty name of Jesus. So, and your socials. Please just give us your socials, where to look forward to it.
It's EMELDA TSHUMA all across.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one that you don't answer my Instagram. Okay. She doesn't answer my Instagram.
You're not the only one.
Oh, girl. Okay. And you have visuals coming through on the same song?
Yes, I do.
Is it coming up all on the same date?
Yeah.
Yay. Woo.
I think. Yeah.
Excited to know.
Yeah,
that.
I think I'll just, all on the same day.
Alrighty. Okay. So we should do a catch up because we haven't gone through it even half of our story. But I'm glad you came through, and I'm
Thank
glad
you for
we had
having
something.
me.
I hope somebody will be transformed because of what we're talking about in our journey and how long it took. I did mention 20 years somewhere in there. And like I said, thank you for coming over.
Thank you so much.
When are we doing another catch up before the release?
I don't know. You let me know.
Of course, tomorrow.
Whenever.
Are you free tomorrow?
Girl.
Let's do this again. Let's do this again.
I'll be
so
here.
thank you so much for watching Heartbeat TV.